Hi everybody, I hope you've had a good start to your summer. So this video is just to introduce the Champion Development Program to you guys so you know what it is, just a basic overview. We started this last year and we're doing some minor changes to it this year, but yeah, so just a little introduction on what it looks like because you guys will be involved in the process for that. If the slides work. There you go. So what is a champ? A champ is essentially a fall new member for our organization, and this is different than a spring new member because the fall new members are jumping in halfway. They have missed our first fundraising push. They didn't get to experience Greek Week or Legacy Week. There are a lot of things that they don't know that the spring new members do know. So that's why they're called champs or champions because they just jump in right when everything picks up like crazy and they're go, go, go until marathon, but they don't know as much. And we expect the same out of them that we expect our spring new members. And without some sort of catch up, we shouldn't, that expectation isn't really warranted. So that's why we are having a champ development program basically to catch them up. But champs are just very integral to our organization in general. These new members offer fresh perspectives and they can ground us a lot as well because we've all been a part of this organization for however long. We have a position on the exec board. You know what you're doing, for the most part, compared to a CM, and things can just get into a rhythm. And that's not the case for these people. So it reminds us to be mindful and intentional about how we communicate, what our expectations are, because we can't expect people to do things without knowing what that means. We can't expect people to have a certain degree of knowledge about our organization if they were never taught. So it just reminds us to slow down sometimes. And it reminds us of our mission in general. And I really believe that the way that we uplift and the way that we treat our champs, our newest members, will say a lot about us as an organization. Because the way that we invite our new members in, the way we give them opportunities to shine, the way that we foster growth within them as a member of the organization just says so much about how we treat everyone in general and how we shouldn't be forgetting about, the newest members because they have a lot of potential. You never know that one of your champs could end up being the president of PUDM one day. You and it's up to us how to treat them correctly and give them our attention because they're so important. So the purpose of a champ development program. It's if any of you are involved in like FSCL, I know that a lot of those have new member programs or other organizations have new member programs. This is basically our version of a new member program. There will be two meetings that the champs go to throughout the semester where they'll just be instructed on things that they should know but might not be learning otherwise. So it's like an onboarding thing for them. It also standardizes the champ experience across committees. I know that some other committees have their own new member meetings at the beginning of the semester, and that's great, and you should totally keep doing that. But this just makes sure that there's a standard of instruction that every champ is receiving, no matter what committee they are on, and there'll be workshops where they can meet. Part of these meetings will have like workshops from other members of the exec board or chamber who can do activities with them, and it's just a little bit more knowledge that they wouldn't receive otherwise. And we just want to make sure that they all receive this. And then again, increasing their engagement, it's just another way for us to give them some attention and for them to meet other champs as well as other committee members from different committees, because I know that cross committee relationships can be really hard to foster if you are a CM because this org is just so big and complicated, as we know. And then leadership development. There are opportunities within this program for CMs to be a leader, even if they don't have an official position. And that's where you guys will step in, but we will get there. So, what does this program look like for our champs? So, Basically, they'll be getting communication from me and then stewardship and DEI. We are the three that run these meetings. So after they apply for PUDM and they'll get that email that invites them to CM Reveal, and at CM Reveal, they'll be introduced to champ leaders. And more on that later. But they'll also go to the champ development meetings that I are already sort of explained. There'll be two of them throughout the semester. One will be the week after CM reveal, and one will be in between Dom and Marathon, but the dates haven't been set yet. But they will go to those meetings and they'll sit with their champ leaders. Now, champ leader is basically just a CM, could be a spring new CM, could not be, it doesn't really matter. Just any CM who will lead them throughout this process. They'll have a group of a few champs to steward throughout the semester, and they can kind of lean on them if they don't want to ask, their exec a question. So that's what that means. Let me know if you have questions about that. But yeah, so they'll be supported by their champ leaders. What does this look like for you guys? So your execs, committee execs, and then also you can bring your chairs into this conversation as well, and I encourage you to do that. So you guys are going to need to nominate champ leaders. Again, each champ leader will get a group of champs, to a small group, to kind of, answer their questions and hang out with them throughout the year, to have um, a relationship with them, to help integrate them into the committee and the further organization. So they should be active and engaged CMs. I'm going to send out a really simple form for you to just add your nominations, their name, and their phone number by, please send that in by June 19th. So I think that's pretty sure that's in 2 weeks. And then you can get, like, if you have a co-exec, make sure that you're collaborating with them on that. Include your chairs, all of you can kind of brainstorm who you want to nominate together. And then we're going to send out, I believe it's Grace is making a form, like a brief application for these champ leader nominations, just to make sure that they actually like care about being there and want to do it. It'll be a really quick application that they'll fill out. It'll be sent to them. All their nominations will get the application on July 1st, and they'll be due July 31st and selected promptly after that. So, and we're probably going to select everyone who gets nominated, but I'm not going to say that's a guarantee, but there's a good chance. So, and then the champs will be assigned to the champ leaders after CMs are selected. So they'll get their little group, and then you we will have a champ leader meeting, which would be we don't have the date for that yet, but it'll be early in the semester. That's just the leaders, so they know what they're doing. So it would be great for you to attend that. And then possibly the champ development meetings, but it depends on what we're doing in that meeting. I actually don't think I'm going to make either of those mandatory attendance, unless we need you for it, but I don't think that we actually will. So that's an if. And then you'll just be overseeing that and making sure that the champ leaders are doing what they're supposed to do. So how to choose a nominee, any CM, they could have been here for 4 years. They could be new from the spring. It'd be great to have younger or like newer CMs nominated, just because it's a great way for them to get leadership opportunity. And also the champs might feel a little bit more comfortable having a fresher, newer CM who understands their perspectives a little bit more. But use your best discretion. It's kind of based on who you have, who your options are. It should be someone who shows a commitment to PUDM, goes to the events, and is communicative when they can't, or if they're struggling with something, or they're responsive when you reach out to them, they respond. They don't just like ghost. I think, and then if you guys know like, the kind of person that I'm describing, and then someone friendly, someone welcoming, inclusive, just I think you guys could figure out who you think would be good in this role. So the suggested number of nominations per committee are here. So 6 for each of them, except for ducks, quack quack. And then last year we actually had 12 champ leaders for morale because we did the color caps as champ leaders. And then for Riley R, we had however many family caps we doubled up. So we had the family caps being champ leaders. And I asked the old morale and Riley R exactly what they thought about this. And I got some like different answers. Um, like so I just put six there. Use your best discretion. If you, like Avery, if you want to make all of your color caps champ leaders, you can. But, and also Sadie, if you want to make all your family caps the champ leaders, you are welcome to. But I also want you to know that it is such a good leadership opportunity for those who are not already in a position, especially with morale having 12 color caps. That's a lot. So, but it also depends on who your options are and who you have. If you think it would be confusing to have different people being champ leaders, that's up to you. I'm gonna say use your best discretion on that, but it is an option. And then for everyone else, you don't have to stick to this number of nominations. If you want to do less, you can. If you want to do more, you can. It's really not that big of a deal, just around that number. So if you can't decide, if you have if you have seven people and you can't decide to cut one, don't cut one, just send in seven, You got it. I don't know why, sorry, this was an old slide. You can't ask questions because this is not a meeting, but you can text me if you have any questions. So yeah, that's just what the Champ Development Program is. Hopefully that made sense because I am kind of rambling at the computer right now. Yeah, so please fill out that form by the 19th, and I hope you have a great rest of your summer, guys. Bye.